Hello everyone and welcome to my NAE individual design project. We'll be talking about advancing personalized learning and how engineers from multiple disciplines can help with that. My name is Diego Perez and welcome. Just a little background on what personalized learning is. It is an educational approach that aims to customize learning for each student's strengths, needs, skills, and interests, where each student gets a learning path that's based on what they know and how they learn best. When we talk about machine learning, actually, uh, some of the biggest examples we see that in the real world are uh, social media apps like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and to an extent Netflix. Right? So Netflix collects data across its many users and using an algorithm picks out what content that it thinks that you would like best based on your previous likes and dislikes and how you're binge watching. Right? Everyone's been binge watching. Right? And Summit Learning is actually a personalized learning service that has seen a great rise over the last few years. Um, it's a free curriculum. It's available to many different states. And while they have faced some controversies over the last few years, I believe that they are a step in the right direction. And that's where analytic tools come in. Analytic tools and how they would work with personalized learning. Right? So, when working with a large amount of students, we need to find an efficient way to be able to convey information while not leaving students behind or leaving them unengaged. Right? So, when we think about class sizes here at U of H, with classes like calculus or engineering math, they could be sometimes upwards of 250 people, 270 people in a single classroom, making it hard for students to interact one-on-one with TAs, if there are TAs in the class, and instructors. So introducing analytic tools to the online components of these classes would be a great help because they could analyze the amount of time they spent on reading the e-text, the amount of notes they've taken, uh, where they falter on the homework, as well as how many times they've rewatched videos, how much time they spent watching the instructor's videos. And one of the features actually about introducing these analytic tools to analyze the data of students would be actually finding these patterns attributed with achievement, engagement, or lack of understanding. And it's one of the other features is actually finding the problems with the e-text or with maybe the teaching style of the specific professor, which we would actually go in further in depth with in our overarching NAE topic for our group, but I'll leave that until later. As well as looking at specific sections where students are having trouble. It also introduces us to different pathways on how to approach these texts. So if a section of e-text, a section of the curriculum has been particularly hard the last few years, the data that comes in can be analyzed by this analytic tool, and maybe new ways of introducing it to the classroom, maybe new ways of teaching it could arise that would best serve the students that are approaching. Right? Making it easier for students to learn it, making it easier for TAs to be able to teach it, just by being able to analyze it over time. Evaluations. Right? So how can this help U of H? What will this do to our new building? Right? This would streamline things for professors as well as TAs and students, making it easier for students to learn on their own when this analytic tool is applied to other things such as CASA, Blackboard, or like our group's specific software, which would be combining the two and making it one overarching thing. limitations. One of the limitations for this specifically is the money and the implementation. It might take a few years to actually work out the bugs, as well as going through a few different test cases, just to make sure that it would be best for the students, uh, best for their well-being, uh, making sure it's secure, making sure their information doesn't get out, things like that. What's next? If this is successful, we could look forward to implementing other things, like VR. Uh, Me coming from a community college, we didn't have the opportunities, and we didn't have any of the cooler labs uh, for anything really. So actually being able to sit down in virtual reality and maybe actually like simulating labs for physics or anything like that would be a great help for actually introducing things to students. It would be amazing. That would be all. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.